Epicurean smokes, where the good times burn.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Steven here from Epicurean Smokes. Today we've got a new humidor to look at from GLENCREAG. This is called the Thermostatic Storage Box, and it is a really interesting product that I am super excited to show you. So let's get into it. It has wide-ranging applications. This isn't just a humidor, and so I'm just so excited to get into this. We've got some nice padding on the packaging here. I'm gonna set that aside. And here she is. So, a really interesting idea this product gives me, and I'm gonna go through a lot of ideas in this unboxing because while I have a lot of humidors, this one is entirely unique. Really nice protective layer here over the whole thing. Let's get it all taken off so you can appreciate what we're talking about. So, I think if you're watching my channel, you've probably already become familiar with the wide range of humidors available on the market, but we'll go through them anyway. We have humidors that are desktop size. This would be classified as desktop size, something that fits maybe around 30 cigars. And that'll always vary based on what size cigar we're talking about. So if you've got some really large ring gauge stuff, it's going to fit a little less. But we've got desktop size, we've got small cabinet size, and those are the ones that usually will hold around 100 to 120 cigars. And then you have thermoelectrics, which range in size. So most thermoelectrics are going to be holding around 100 cigars on the smaller end to really large thermoelectrics that'll hold thousands of cigars. So a really wide range of technology available on the thermoelectric market. The unique thing here that we're seeing that GLENCREAG has put out on the market is a desktop size thermoelectric. So for those cigar smokers who really want to have a well-kept collection but don't need to keep a ton of cigars or have really specific applications, and the one that immediately comes to mind, because I've got a road trip coming up next week, is the ability to keep cigars fresh on the road. So this is a thermoelectric desktop humidor. And so what that means is that we can apply power to it and it will retain temperature. And that is such a cool thing. So let's take a look at what we get. So on the front here, we've got a nice pull tab here to open. And so let's go ahead and open it, see what we get inside. Again, really nicely done with the protective layering. So you're not gonna get all kinds of funky scratches when you get the thing. Inside, we've got a nice cedar drawer. And that, if you haven't really worked a lot with humidors, there's some significant value to being able to just pull your whole stash out, as opposed to having to like scoop them out and get them out of the corners of your humidor when you want to rearrange things. So that's very cool. So here inside the first compartment, we have our power supply. The power supply is nicely done in that you get a USB-C to 110. So you can plug that into the wall or wherever you're plugging, but you also get a USB-A to USB-C. So you have your option of what you would like to do for power. You can choose. And that's super handy because if I'm using this for vehicular applications, if I want to put my thermoelectric GLENCREAG in my Maybach or in my Rolls Royce or in my Camry, I can do that. I can choose those fitments for that connection. And so here we can see really nice smell on this cedar box. And so the cedar that they've chosen for this smells great. And It fits in very nicely, and it has a good flush fit, so it kind of suctions in and out, which is great. You know, fit and finish matters. We've got our user manual. Let's see what we get. We get a startup guide, we get a seasoning guide, and you know they've got a modern seasoning guide here. They're talking about 84% Bovedas, and so that's very cool. I generally do all of my seasoning in the same way these days. So this will be my 12th test humidor, and so I dare say that I know a few things about seasoning a humidor, but generally applying humidity via whatever your preferred humidity system is, whether it's a Boveda, Valet systems, Humicure beads, what have you, to 5% RH over your desired operating RH is the way to go. So if I'm going to run mine at, say, 64% RH, if that's my ideal, then I'll just season with 69. If I wanted a few percent higher, I'll put in some 72s. The classic way to do it doesn't really need to apply, especially to thermoelectrics. So 5% above your working humidity is enough. The Boveda seasoning packs work very well, and I'm sure that's why they've mentioned them here. So they say here, important notes, temperature control only. This unit maintains stable temperature, approximately 70 degrees Fahrenheit, but does not regulate humidity. So they're making sure that you understand that you need to do that part via, I will put Bovedas in there, just being direct about that. I will put Bovedas in mine. It's got some safety instructions and some information here about the different components. So one thing that will be nice to point out is on the actual cooling portion of it on the rear, you've got a dust cover that is removable. So you can actually clean this, and that is a big plus because I want to make sure that the air that my thermoelectric is breathing is at least going through some kind of pre-filter. So that is fantastic. On the back, we have our USB plug there, and in the front, we have our nice thermometer. Another thing that's really nice about this, especially if you already have desktop size humidors or even cabinet humidors, the newer ones on the market all have these digital displays for humidity on their pre-installed hygrometers. This one is wired as part of the electronics of the system, which means that you get a digital display that's tied to the power that is not battery powered. So you don't have to be swapping batteries in those. It's all part of the electronics of the humidor. I'm really excited to get this plugged in and see how it works. I think that this is a fantastic option for a variety of different cigar collectors and cigar aficionados, in that it can be used in a variety of different locations. For example, I have a smoke shed, and so my smoke shed is not temperature controlled. It is outside of the home, and the temperature will vary from, very cold in the winter to very hot in the summer. Having something like this that can maintain temperature, I can handle the humidity part. Boveda makes it easy. Humicure makes it easy. All of these companies that do humidity systems make that easy. But temperature control can be the often more challenging part. And so being able to move this out to my smoke shed, into the car for road trips if I want to humidity control some cigars on the trip, all of that is going to be a really phenomenal pro for this particular GLENCREAG humidor. Really excited. Let's get it plugged in. All right, so I've got a nice place picked out on this table for this GLENCREAG thermostatic storage box. When I first plugged it in, it had a temperature readout of 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Here you can see on the current thermometer reading, it's already down to 71. So this box is designed to keep temperatures really close to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. It's intended for indoor use. That's the main function. And so it's not meant to be left outside and all of that. Really, really excited to get this seasoned. It is super quiet. So it's just kind of like, you can hear the fan on the back just like whispering. And the dust protector here, really easy to remove, clean, and replace. Always want to make sure you've got some space behind the box so that it can breathe, because of course if it can't bring in that air, it's not really gonna keep the box cool. Really nice latch, really nice seal. You can feel the suction on this silicone seal lift when you open. So really, really nice. I'm so excited to get this seasoned and get it filled up with some cigars. All right, now that we're all seasoned up, I got to put in some of my daily smokes so we can put this box to use. It's great as you put your hand to the back, you can feel kind of that light cooling, so that box is doing what it's supposed to do. So let's get these cigars in. And yes, you saw that right, it even fit that giant Carlitos A, my Opus 25th, and some Purple Rain. So I'm very pleased with what GLENCREAG has put out. I think this is a great option for somebody who knows the importance of keeping temperature control on their cigar collection. As always, I appreciate you for tuning into my reviews. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Patreon as well. Also, don't forget to check out the Stogie Society podcast every Wednesday night at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Bye!
So till next time.